They buried him with his dreams still in his bones. The world remembers his name, but not the war he fought inside. They saw the smile, but never the storm. And like so many before him, he died with stories still untold, ideas still unborn, fires still unlit. Not because he lacked the power, but because the world convinced him to wait. Wait for the perfect time. Wait for the approval. Wait until the fear dies down. But time waits for no man. And death, it doesn't ask if you're ready. So I ask you now, what will they bury with you? Will it be your vision, your book, your business, your truth? Or will they bury an empty shell because you left it all on the battlefield of life? This is not a speech. This is a wake-up call to the part of you that still believes you have time. Because the tragedy is not that we die. The tragedy is that most people never truly live. You were not born to drift. You were born to dominate, not to impress the world, but to express the fire inside you before it's gone. History does not remember those who played it safe. It remembers those who felt the fear and moved anyway, who were misunderstood, doubted, rejected, and kept going. From the prophets to the poets, from the warriors to the inventors. Every soul who shook the earth walked through their own version of hell first. Because greatness is not given. It is carved, one decision at a time, from the stone of discipline. The world today is loud, noisy, but wisdom, it's quiet. And in that silence, you will hear a whisper that says, there is more inside you. A whisper that says, you were not meant for average. But you've silenced it with distractions, with scrolling, with doubt, with fear. So let me be that whisper today, amplified into thunder. Burn this into your soul. You don't get what you want. You get what you are willing to become. And who you are becoming is shaped by what you believe when no one's watching. Mindset isn't about thinking positive. It's about thinking with power. It's choosing your perspective like a warrior chooses his weapon. There will be pain. There will be failure. There will be silence, where you wonder if any of this is worth it. And that is where most people quit. But the few, the rare few, they rise in that silence because they understand pain is not the enemy. Pain is the proving ground. Failure is not defeat. Failure is feedback. And fear is simply the cost of admission for doing anything meaningful in this world. You have to stop treating fear like a wall. Fear is a compass. It points to the very thing you must do. And the bigger the fear, the louder the call. When the Spartans raised their shields, they weren't fearless. They were prepared. Prepared to do the hard thing anyway. Prepared to bleed for something greater than comfort. Prepared to die empty. And you've been chosen to be here. Right now. Not just alive, but awake. So why are you walking like you've got chains on your feet? You weren't built to blend in. You weren't built to settle. You weren't built to stay quiet so the world can stay comfortable. You are the storm, but only if you decide to be. You've been taught to play small, to not make noise, to not shake the cage. But the cage was never locked. You were just convinced it was. And that's how the system wins, by making you doubt your power. But hear me clearly. Your mind is a kingdom, and you are either its king or its captive. Most people live like prisoners inside their own thoughts, worrying about opinions, fearing rejection, addicted to comfort. But you are different. You are hearing this because a part of you knows there is another level, not of success, of self. This is about becoming a man or woman so powerful, so aligned, so purpose-driven, that when you walk into a room, you don't need to speak. Your presence says it all, but that requires a shift from believing you need permission to realizing you were born with authority, not the kind given by titles or applause, but the kind forged in solitude, in the dark mornings, in the silent work, when nobody is watching and you still show up. That is where the real war is won.